After 1 e4, if you respond with e5, then you have to know how to play against this trap. Here, after e4, e5, white just continues to develop his knight. You play knight to c6. Here, if white wants, he can go for the ruler pace, the Italian, with bishop to c4, or even the 4 knights game with knight to c3 and knight to f6. But here, white can also play one more move, that is c3. Now, the idea of this is to play d4. Here, there are a couple of ways you can continue. One is knight to f6 and one is d5. I'll show you the variations one by one. First, let's take a look at knight to f6. It's attacking the pawn. White follows his plan by striking in the center with d4. Here you can take this free pawn. There's no harm in taking it right now. So, knight into e4, d5 attacks the knight. The knight has to move back because if it goes to a5, then it will be trapped in the corner. So he takes it to e7. And here now this pawn is become weak. So white just takes the pawn. Here, if you feel that this knight is annoying, don't play d6 because this is a blunder. Here, white can play bishop to b5. He'll make use of this diagonal. If you get your bishop in between, then you will lose your queen after this variation. So you have to play c6. Here, white will take your pawn. If you recollect, then white will take it with the knight and then deliver a fork on the rook, knight and the king. If here after d into c6 you take this free knight, then you will be in big trouble because white will have a discovered attack. Again you have to get your bishop in between, and then here white will promote into a queen taking your rook, and now this is totally losing. If you even take this queen, then you will be checkmated. So that's why d6 is a blunder. Instead, if you feel this knight is annoying, then you can play knight to g6 and trade off these knights. After knight takes g6, you can play h into g6 and you'll have an active position. Now if you are a very attacking player, then you won't mind sacrificing material. So here there's one more line here. After d5, you can play bishop to c5. You sacrifice this knight, black will capture the f2 pawn and white will lose his castling. Then here black just takes his bishop back, and here he is a piece down, but he has a lot of attacking chances. So if you are an attacking player, then you might like to try this. Now let's move on to variation number 2, that is d5. Here white can play queen to a4, pin your knight and is threatening to capture the e5 pawn. Here again there are several moves to continue. One is f6, which looks awkward because the diagonals look weak, but it protects the pawn and you can develop your bishop, maybe put your knight on e7 and castle. So it will be a good position to develop your pieces. And also white has not developed his pieces yet, so there's no need to worry that your pieces are stuck. Another move is queen to d6, which looks like it blocks the diagonal of the bishop, but it keeps the position together, and even white has not developed his pieces yet, so this should not be a problem to develop black's pieces. So if you like this tutorial, then you might want to check out more tricks and traps in this playlist. And if you like my videos, then subscribe to my channel.